I've never allowed for my circumstances to define me. I've always said, especially like we were just talking about that, like all of the childhood trauma and it being like, no, my life is going to be different. Like
Yeah.
I'm going to make different choices. My life is going to be different and still holding on to that belief system. So it's having a really strong belief in I'm going to do something with my life and my life is going to make a difference. It's not going to like this isn't the end for me.
Hey, Bloomies! It's your girl, Chris with a K, and you're listening to the Blooming Lately podcast, a podcast for late bloomers from a late bloomer because we're not late. We're blooming on our own time. And as of late, I've been very reflective since turning 37. I'm the big 37 now. And with that time, I'm always very introspective of reviewing what the past has been and really what it is that I want to change in the future. And one of the things that came up for me, of course, like other people, you think about all of the challenges and all of the hardships that you overcame. And when you were in the thick of it, you just could not even conceptualize being on the other side of it. And just being able to see like the growing pains of that and the new muscle that you built. Um, and even just saying, you know what, I've been through that, but I have no desire to go through that again. And how do I learn from those experiences? How do I claim them as strengths of mine without letting it harden me or change or define who I am as a person? I am very childlike. I have a, a very childlike essence, and I love that so much, even though society and just other people who have had that light dimmed for them make you feel like it's a sign of immaturity or just not taking life seriously. But I feel like that is the the key that'll help us to overcome so many challenges. You still need to have that belief that anything is possible. And living here in Orlando, where you can't avoid Disney and all things Disney. And one of the people who I have with me today, Miss Emily Walker, who is an experience and operations strategist for Building Our Tech, which is a local nonprofit that aims to empower individuals to build, learn, and scale through tech, entrepreneurship, and workforce readiness. But I bring her up because she is, are you a Disney adult? Let me not mislabel you, but you are always at
Yes.
Disney. You are the ears, the cruise, the thing. I live vicariously through you, even though I try to avoid crowds by all means. You just make Disney look so much fun. So maybe I just need to go with fun people to really enjoy it because there's something about the crowds that I'm just like, but I love that so much. So, hi, Emily.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Blooming Lately
Hey
podcast. How
girl.
are you?
Hi Bloomies. I'm so happy to be here today. But yes, I am indeed a Disney adult. I love to go. It is all about the people that you go with. That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
It's important if you're sitting there waiting in long lines, you need to be able to have good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny. A friend of mine and I, we were standing in line for to go have fun on Toy Story Mania and play that game with the 3D glasses and the little thing turns you around and stuff like that. And we're both really competitive, but while we're standing in line and the line would happen to be longer than expected and as usual, rides break down. And we're
Oh.
having like the most serious conversation in line and then at a moment we just both kind of stopped and looked at each other like, wow, this was kind of inappropriate for this area. And we looked around. I was like, okay, well, at least there weren't that many kids around us.
But sometimes that happens
But
when you're
it's
like in a
just
safe space. Like sometimes that,
exactly. It's like you're in the middle of all of these crowds, and yet because we are so comfortable with each other as
yeah.
friends, we're in that safe space and we're just, relating to each other. And we're just having this serious conversation. It happens to be about perimenopause of all things.
That
And
is the hot topic because it's a very real thing for a lot
it
of us in our
is
big threes and big fours.
exactly. And so we're talking about all of these things that our bodies are doing and just like how frustrating it is and but in very much TMI detail in the middle of Disney. So it was hilarious.
Listen, it happens because a hot flash, all of a sudden steam is coming out of your head. I've seen the wildest things. Your ears are itching, your skin is dry, the
Yes.
brain fog,
Mm-hmm.
the anxiety. Like there's just so many things. It's
The
terrifying.
the
The PR for
brain
it is worse.
the brain fog is crazy. Like,
Ugh,
I you're like, "I'm a smart, intelligent person. Where's the word?
that
This
part.
is not a hard word. What is happening?" Like, the
Listen.
frustration, and then, as, you have your podcast and, and we'll get into, bot and the community, but going up there and you're speaking to community and you're like, "Ah, I'm a smart person. What is happening?" And I'm in front of people.
You're like, I promise I have been a part of this for years. I am one of the
Since the
founders.
beginning.
What do you I know the words, I know the spiel. I'm passionate about this. It's just all the words.
All the words, where did they go?
Man, so how have you been blooming lately?
Yeah.
Has it just
So,
been the world of perimenopause, or what else has been going on with Emily?
but, I think that I'm in that very trying time right now of,
Okay.
we were getting, um, caught up a little bit before this and talking about the unfortunate passing of our doggy.
Mhm.
And then alongside that, my sister, um, she has 3 children, and my brother-in-law, he recently lost both of his parents back to back,
Wow.
within a month of each other. And so we're in that terrible phase of, like, our, like, parents and grandparents are passing a lot right now.
Mhm.
We had a lot of losses last year in 2025 as well, as far as like our family and stuff like that. But just being there to support them. So we spent a week with my niece and nephew, which we usually do anyway during the summer. We always have our Titi's weekend
Yeah.
to go and hang out and spend time and get caught up and keep that connection. So we really enjoy that, but it this time we did it opposite. Usually they come to us and we take them to Orlando because they're in Tampa area.
Okay.
And this time we did it the other way because like my sister and brother-in-law had to do all of the things that come along associated with when, you know, family members
Yeah.
pass and stuff like that, all the paperwork and all of the things, and they had to go out of state for it. So we said, okay, we'll go there, we'll take care of the animals, take care of the house. So we stayed a week there for them, and
Yeah.
supported them. And that's just kind of we're grateful that we have the ability to, um, with Josh's job that he works remote, and then as well as with the community that we have a trusted team that we can
Mhm.
do things like that. So it's very much a 50-50 feeling of on this side, things I feel terrible for my family and my heart is broken for them, but at the same time, I get to spend quality time and I get to
Yeah.
do that. I'm not tied to an office, I'm not tied to a desk. Um, so I think that's just kind of where I'm blooming in the area of being grateful in these times of trials and tribulations of the benefits that we have of being able to do those things. And just being reminded of it doesn't matter where you are in your journey, there's always going to be something
Mhm.
that's going to come up in life and that you're whether it's for yourself or family that you deeply care about and that you want to be there to support.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
my heart goes out to your family
Thank
and
you.
sending positive vibes and prayers for comfort
Thank you.
and healing during that time. It's very tough. It's very
Yeah.
scary because the blessing and the curse of aging is that you get closer and closer, and then those
Mhm.
elders, like, the generations start to pass,
Right.
and so now you're trying to figure out, whoa. I am the adult. I'm this. You
Yeah.
just kind of, once, if you have the blessing of having your parents older, you just kind of, in a weird way, expect them to always kind of be around because they haven't
Yeah.
been gone
Right.
yet. And then so when they do, it's just like it shakes your world.
It's yeah, especially so many of us we love our grandmothers so much, and so when
Hmm.
especially when you lose your matriarch,
Oh yeah.
it's very difficult. And it changes the dynamic of your entire family.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. Because that's the root. They become the root.
exactly.
They were the ones that knew. They were the bridge between the ones that have gone before you and the ones that are coming in, and
Right.
keeping those stories alive. So now you kind of look left and right amongst your family, that next generation of who's going to be the new matriarch, who's going to
Uh-huh.
take on the baton, and are you ready for that responsibility, and what does that
Right.
look like? So it is a lot. That shifts in that dynamic, and a lot of people, I don't think,
Mhm.
have that conversation, or they avoid it.
Yeah.
um, easy to avoid, or sometimes families fall apart
Absolutely.
because that glue is not there. But hopefully they bounce back and come back together. So, but yes, sending you
Yeah.
you know
Thank you.
prayers to your family. But that
Thank
there
you.
is still, as much as grief is very frustrating and we can't
Mhm.
avoid it, there, in a weird way, you can find moments of gratitude.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that's all
Absolutely.
you need, is to find that little glimmer of gratitude to just kind of help you get through.
Mhm.
You think of all the happy times, the memories,
Right.
just all of the beautiful ways that you come together during this time to celebrate these people, because it
Absolutely.
the as much as it hurts when you're grieving, it just shows
Mhm.
how deeply you love that person and how much
Right.
they meant to you. So, it's a tricky thing, but as long as you
It
find the gratitude,
is.
find the moments,
Yeah, the little
find little joyful
moments,
moments.
right, and
Yeah,
creating those moments too, like, or
absolutely.
helping my niece and nephew through those things and just telling them about journaling and talking with each other as siblings about their memories with their grandparents and,
Hmm.
all of those different things. Um, just because there's just so much going on in the world, it does take a village
Oh yeah,
to raise kids, and I know that my sister and brother-in-law are going through so much, so it's like any way that we can team up and partner as
yeah,
the village to be there for them right now.
absolutely.
Yeah,
That's a blessing.
it is. It is.
Yeah. So I want to shift gears a little bit. So
Yeah.
you mentioned bot. So can
Mhm.
you let the Bloomies know about bot?
Absolutely. So, but I guess I'll start from the beginning. Um, so Bot is really a heartfelt love letter of duplication of what we would hope for other people
Okay.
because of what we went through. Um, it it didn't start off that way necessarily because Josh is a co-founder, but there was originally five co-founders. Some other people went on to do other things and left like in the very beginning, like they weren't along very well. They kind of they follow us and they see like what it's become and evolved over the past 10 years. Um However, from our journey of I was like, "Let me focus." That perimenopause thing. So from our journey of becoming homeless, after Josh basically had a job opportunity in Atlanta, after he graduated with his degree at Full Sail, and everything fell apart. It was not what was promised whatsoever. We couldn't catch our footing at all. We had money saved up that would cover us for 6 months, and it just wasn't enough. We thought that 6 months would be more than enough for two very intelligent people. I was in the middle of my master's at the time, online, and we're just like, okay, we're gonna try this move to Atlanta. And then before we knew it, everything fell apart, and we found ourselves looking at what do we do?
Mm,
Where does this come from? Like what is our next steps? Because so he's like, okay, well, I'll just try to go back to the army because he's a veteran. And so he tried to go back, and they just so happened to have his exact job, like, that they were looking for, like, exact qualifications. It's like 92 Yankee, parachutist, like, all of the things, and then he went through it, and they're like, "Nope, actually, sorry, but you're overweight, you're gonna have to lose weight." And then he's like, "Okay, what am I gonna do now? Okay, we have about a month. Let me see what I could do." He loses the weight, he goes in, they take all of his vitals, and they're like, "No, you have hypertension, we can't take you." And it wasn't necessarily that he had hypertension, it was the stress from the
yeah.
situation, and also he had coffee that morning because he's like, "I didn't sleep, I'm worried about everything that's happening." And so, obviously, your blood pressure is gonna be risen when you're in this, dire
Yeah.
situation, and he comes back and he just looks at me and he's like, "I don't know what we're gonna do." And that's,
Mm,
like, so difficult for any man and for your husband to just look at you like, I made this terrible decision, um and, like, we moved here, we thought it was gonna be great for us, it's not. Um, and then I tried to make it work to go back to the army, that didn't work. Like, what are we gonna do? And I was like, "You know what? It's okay. we're gonna sell everything. We're gonna get whatever we can get. We'll keep the important stuff, the pictures, the sentimental stuff. We'll pack up the car. We'll go back to Orlando and we'll go stay with my grandma. Which background, my grandmother was actually dying of pancreatic cancer during that time. So she
Mm.
didn't tell me that she had pancreatic cancer before we moved up, even though she knew. She didn't want to stop what she thought was also going to be a good thing for us because she knew that I
Mhm.
wouldn't have left. And so now I'm like, oh my God, this is even worse because she's going through cancer treatments. She's 83 years old. Like,
Mm.
I know that this is there's not going to be a recovery. Like, I am aware of that. And no matter how much I'm aware of that, it doesn't change how difficult it was, right? And so
Mhm.
we do it, we come back and we're staying on her apartment floor, which apartments, they have like you can have visitors for up to 2 weeks, right? So meanwhile, we're
Yeah.
trying to be as like hidden as possible, not being seen by the leasing consultant people and all those things. So where they're like, oh, those people are there kind of long. You know what I mean? Like we don't want
Yeah.
to add another situation. But daughter's sleeping on the couch and we're sleeping on an air mattress on the floor. And we're just like, okay, now we have to hustle. Like, we're back in Orlando, we're back in our stomping grounds. What are we gonna do? Hurry up, we get jobs. I was working at Bell's Outlet and he was working at Forever 21.
Mm.
And we did that for a little bit just to have some kind of money and we just still kept on pressing. And mind you, all of this, my grandmother also did not have Wi-Fi, but I was doing my online masters. So
Oh,
I
wow. So you had
had
to go to the
to
library and
Starbucks, McDonald's. So my routine would be go to Starbucks, grab all of my sources and whatever I needed to create my paper, because I can then create my paper wherever. And then before midnight, drive to McDonald's because it was the closest thing to our house to get just enough Wi-Fi in the parking lot to
to
upload
submit it.
to submit
Yeah.
it. And I was just like, okay, this is life. This is crazy. I don't know how we're doing all of this. Um, and then we get to the point of I end up getting a check from school and I'm like, all right, we can go get our own place because we need to because I don't know if I'm gonna wake up one day and my grandma's now passed.
Yeah.
Like we have to get something and we're like, okay, and also let's worry about our daughter and her schooling situation because now she's been in this back and forth, all this turbulation of and chaos of moving to Atlanta, changing schools, 6 months later, moving back to Orlando, grandma's passing, it moving again. And I was just like, I need her to have some kind of stability somewhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to do whatever I can to get her back into school that she was at as she originally left. Because that's where all her friends are.
Okay.
And I was just like, she needs stability. So we managed to go back to the same, rent the same townhouses that we had previously rented before, get her back in that school. And just like everybody else, starting from scratch. It's not
Yeah.
nothing but a TV and air mattresses in the condo,
Listen,
but we
but
have
it's your house, it's your
it's my
roof.
house though, and we have a place to live, and that's what needed to happen. Um, so about 2 months after that is when my grandmother passed. She actually, I feel every like I've always felt in my spirit that she waited to pass
It's,
2 days after Christmas. That
oh
she
wow.
didn't want. Yeah, like, I swear she held on to just not pass on
Yeah,
Christmas
on
Day.
Christmas, yeah.
Like, I swear she just held on just a little bit longer. Because Christmas was also our thing. Like, we loved Christmas. We loved giving
Yeah.
gifts. We love embracing people. So, I felt like that was really, a big part of the story, um, into then where we go into now. Now we're hustling and we're looking for better jobs and Josh starts working for a HR software company and I start working in child welfare. And that had all of its own traumatics of growing up and discovering things and reflections and stuff like that. But we don't have
Mm.
enough time for that story.
You might
Um,
need to
I
come
might
back
need
for that
I might need
one.
to come back for that one.
Yeah, you might need to come back.
However, so we move into he gets part of this leadership council
Mm.
and he meets our good friend now, Sarah Albadri, and her husband, Orette Davis. And Orette was in the tech scene. We didn't know anything about tech. We didn't grow up that way. Like, yeah, everybody, and we how little dibble, they teach you a little bit of things on the computer when you're growing up or whatever, but you don't think about tech. Like, what does a job in tech look like for
Well,
us? That
what
wasn't.
do you mean? We had MySpace pages and we were software. We were
We're a little bit
programmers.
okay. So, well, yes,
Thank you
there's
very
that. No,
much.
you're very right, and we are the
You know,
OG. We are the
we
OG
knew.
couple. Let me back up. So we're the OG couple that got together through MySpace. So he was in my
I
DMs.
always wondered.
Yes,
Oh my
yes,
God.
he was in my DMs for MySpace.
That's
Yes.
so sweet. And MySpace is making a comeback. I
I
feel like you
know. I'm
guys
so
gotta
excited
go
about
on
it.
there.
Right. We're
That's
definitely
like
gonna
a
be on
vow
MySpace.
renewal in a weird way. That's
Right.
like
It's
cute.
so crazy 18 years later. Um, but yeah, basically what I mean by that is growing up poor in
Yeah.
impoverished, and like they don't tell you what you can do. Yes, we explore those things and we discover those things as adults and like as tech evolves, but I mean like what does that look like for a career?
Oh,
Like
and
not
especially
being
for those of us who were born in the 80s or the early
exactly
90s, like
exactly.
we saw technology advancing in real time. So
Yeah.
we saw it advancing before you can even realize the jobs that come with that. Like we're
Right.
now discovering, like going backwards, oh, that's a software engineer, or this is a
Exactly.
programmer, this is cybersecurity, even. Like we saw the progression of all of
Mhm.
that.
So it's
So
like
yeah.
despite like all of the HTML which basically propelled him into tech, obviously
Hmm.
from back in those days, but it
Yeah.
still wasn't a thought until he started going around all of these people and all of developers, and he started learning new coding languages and just self-taught at home. So he would go to work his 8 to 5, we would get home, he would go home and spend 3 4 hours just learning how to code, just focused, just locked in. He's like, this is gonna pay off, I promise this is gonna pay off. I'm like, okay, I support you, I support you,
Yeah.
go do it. um and so just like months and months, and also going to networking events, really really big, going to networking events over and over again. And he's like, I think I'm gonna speak at one of these things. And I'm like, okay, because if like, Josh is very can be very introverted the same way that I can be, just in different situations. And so I was like, oh, this is new. I was like, okay. So he started speaking and he started telling people about the things that he was learning. And then eventually he got into, so he eventually transferred from that software company to working at Bonnier. It's marketing. I don't know if you know what Bonnier is, but basically they were
Mhm.
a magazine company of all
Okay.
things. They like fishing and hunting and all kinds of different. And they also had
Okay.
like mom magazines, and so he had taught himself enough, um like H retaught himself enough HTML and CSS that he started building emails, and that was his first entry level like tech job, doing emails for them. And then he was rising the ranks, and he was at one of the networking events, and this lady came up to him, and she was after he started talking about AWS, and she said, hey, actually, let me not say his current company name.
Yeah.
Let me not do that. But where he works currently, he's been there for 9 10 years almost.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so along almost the same journey, just a little bit after we started bot is when he got hired there. And that's when she said, hey, they're looking for a lot of people that know AWS, you should apply. And we're like, who is that? Meanwhile, it's one of the top 4 consulting agencies in all of the
Yeah.
world, and we had no idea who they were. And I just remember, we were doing okay, between his salary and mine at that time, like financially, like we were making it. We're chilling, like in our eyes, like enough, especially compared from going
Where you
from
guys
nothing to
were, yeah.
right.
You were
So
good and comfy.
we were good, and we were just like okay. But then I happened to be walking around the mall. I forgot why I was even there. But I remember specifically I was in Florida Mall, and he called me and he said I got the job. And then he told me how much money he was making, and I cried. Like
Wow.
I like broke down. I was like, "What? You made
Yeah.
how much?" Like and it was like just under that 6-figure mark, but that
Wow.
was astronomical for
Heck yeah.
us. And I was like, "This is it. Our lives have changed forever." It was
Yeah.
literally one of those moments. Oh my God! Like, you did it. Like, after all
Yeah.
of that, after all the late nights and the networking, and oh, and we had one car. let me add that. So
Mm.
mind you, we were a
In
in
Florida.
Florida driving all over the place. Like I would get up, drive him to work. My job happened to be around the corner from his. Get off, go pick him up, leave, drive back, like cook dinner and be with Ileana, and then maybe he would take the car and he would go network on his own, or sometimes I would go with him if she had like she had some friends that she stayed with sometimes that I would be able to go like
Yeah.
support him if he was talking. But the way I think about that time, the way that the amount of hustle, I was like, people have no idea. They have
Mm-mm.
no idea our lives and the way that they were. And so this will bring you back to like if you've ever been to a bot event, and I know
I
this
have,
story has
yeah.
gotten to, so like we feed people. And
Yes.
so this is why, right? Like during all of those times, and we were going to networking events during those times, and they always had sponsors and they always had pizza. I can't tell you how many times that pizza saved us.
Yeah.
That pizza saved us like in our day. We never had time to just like stop and get food, or maybe we didn't even have money for food. Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, that's why we have to have that no matter what. And a lot of people have pulled back from that because of budgets, and I understand, but like that's something that I really stick to, that I was like, we have to feed people because we don't know what they're going through.
Yeah.
And
That might be their only hot
we
meal
want them
or
to be
yeah.
successful. And so when he got invited and we saw all these groups, but there weren't a whole lot of people of color in any of these groups, and he was treated by one or two people a certain kind of way. And so there's a handful of people and they got together and they said, what are we going to do about this? And that's when Bot, previously Black Orlando Tech, now Building Our
Mm-hmm.
Tech,
Yeah.
was created in a coffee shop, um, 10 years ago now. So to say we have to create a community space for us, we have to create a community for Black and Latino people to come to feel safe. um and what does that look like, and how do we help people um know about these jobs, know about the salaries, because people aren't talking about salaries. Like if you realize, like
Mm-mm.
10 years ago people really didn't talk about that stuff. It's
Oh
been
no, it
over.
was a faux pas.
Yeah, people didn't
Like you
talk
weren't even
about that
supposed to
stuff.
talk to your coworkers about it, your
Right,
colleagues, because there was always so much pay disparities. It was
right,
very frowned upon to talk about salaries. It just yeah, it was recent that even job
exactly,
postings that it was very
exactly.
clear. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're like, we have to let people know that you can, this is a way to generational wealth through tech. We
Mm-hmm.
thought we have to educate people. These are the types of jobs. So we started, having all of these talks and discussions that eventually turned into workshops,
Yeah.
and then cohorts of being certified and giving people a platform to speak, because we saw the power of that.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh's own journey. So we use a lot of our journey to replicate within what we do at Bot, because we know it's powerful and we know that it works.
That is so beautiful.
Thank you.
And as somebody who I've been to a few of them and
Mhm.
I've made some really long lasting connections that I still have to this day from it. I greatly
Yeah.
appreciate it. I'm not in tech, but I've always been fascinated by it.
Mhm.
Even in high school, like I always, one of the reflective things that I've had was like, dang, I wish I would have stayed consistent with the graphic design
Mhm.
stuff or like, getting certified with Adobe and
Girl.
Illustrator or learning Photoshop and how to edit. Cause now I'm doing the podcasting. So like,
Uh-huh.
strengthening my skills that way, but how can I use what I'm learning to help me propel into like an actual career doing this?
Absolutely.
So we might just need a chat after this right here. But
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to say this for the Bloomies, is that
yeah.
I know that AI has taken over and we all hate the AI flyers. So I know we're gonna eventually talk about branding, but in alignment
Yeah.
with the branding is, we still need to hone back on, you need to build a brand. And that
Yeah.
brand needs to have a representation of you and of what that brand stands for. And that's what's lost in all of this AI.
Mhm.
So we do believe that it's going to have to come back some. It's going to have to revert a little bit,
Yeah.
get a little bit away from AI, and remember the creators, because that's where the magic is made. Is That's why I'm a Disney adult. I love storytelling.
Yeah.
Disney is storytelling entirely. It's creative. You go there and you're just like, I'm in another world. And so it's just you bring that back into your life and you're just like, I want to be creative. We all want to be creative in
Mhm.
some way, shape, or form. Some people are
Absolutely.
creative in music, some people are creative in art, some people are creative in building out relationships. We all have our different ways of being creative in the way that it comes out.
Absolutely. It's just
Yeah.
about finding the medium that works for you to help
Hmm.
you like
Right.
channel that energy and just
Exactly.
foster it and perfect it. So
Exactly.
I want to go back a little bit to your story that you shared. Thank you so much for sharing that with the Bloomies. What is one thing about you that you've learned or you've taken away from your experience when you guys were experiencing being like unhoused and like navigating that?
Um Uh, what I can say for anyone that's going through times of tribulation like that is to make a decision.
Mhm.
Um, don't wait for everything to fall. The reason why I believe that even though everything fell apart, but we were able to remain positive in those moments was because we were proactive and made a decision. So like we said, okay, we're gonna sell everything and we're gonna be okay with this. We made a decision to do that, and I made a decision to communicate to the person we were renting from at the time, and I told them what was going on, and they said, "If you're out by the first, I won't do anything to you. I'm not gonna, like, come anything after legally. You won't have anything on your credit. Just have it clean and be out by the first."
Mhm.
Like, literally the best possible situations and outcomes because I was forthcoming.
Okay.
With what was happening. So being forthcoming and being proactive and saying, you know what, this is going to happen. And I clearly see that this is going to happen. So I need to do something before everything falls apart really bad. Like,
Mm.
because if I wait until the last minute for everything to fall, this can get so much worse. Then there's other additional next steps that are going to happen. We don't have the money because the way Facebook Marketplace saved us, I
Yeah.
posted that stuff and everything was gone in 3 days.
Wow.
And all of a sudden we had, which doesn't it's not a lot right now, but we had like, I don't know, 3 or $500, like, just to we were just selling stuff just to get whatever little dollar. I think we had like $500. I feel like 5 is like in my spirit. So it's just like like $500. I think that was like, okay, it's gas to get home. It's money that we're
Mhm.
gonna pay our cell phones because we need our cell phones to get jobs. Um, you know, but had we not done that, and then now all of a sudden we have, things on our credit because we broke the lease and, all of these additional factors. Now, how are we going to get home because we don't have any money to get home? Like all of those things could have just added up and we really could have been on the street. We really could have been in really terrible situations, but because we were proactive, we were able to figure out a couple of steps before that. Before. So it's like, what can I do to be better? And so it's like whenever I see something coming, even now, it's like,
Mhm.
is there a way that I can make a decision before the fall? Like, is there something that I can do new and different? And I think it's difficult right now, because everything feels in this economy like everything feels overwhelming and exhausting. And so it's like, what is out there? What resources are out there that can help you if you're
Yeah.
if you're in that situation? Because there are resources, and asking and talking to people and being open about your situation. Because if you stay closed, it's gonna get worse.
Now, is that something that you learned while you were in the midst of getting through that, or is that a skill or a mindset that you developed based off of previous, whether it's in your upbringing? Like, what kind of get got you to that space of being like, let's be prepared this time around, or let's
Um,
when you say making that decision?
I think that I learned it from other circumstances that like when you're growing up as a child and you don't have control over your life,
Mm.
and you are in really bad situations. And so you've been through a lot of trauma. I think that you see when things are happening. and you learn from them and you say, okay, now I'm an adult, I can make a decision for myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something different. So I think that's where that stems from. When it comes to me personally, is just, yeah, I'd say probably a lot of childhood trauma.
I mean, I was just about to say sometimes trauma responses are
Yeah,
helpful. Like, they're
they
not
are.
always, like,
They're n
terrible, like, they
Mhm.
kinda come into your body just as an alarm to prepare you, like, "Hey, remember we went through something like this,
Right.
or we're feeling this way, let's
Mhm.
maybe pay attention to this," and then it's up to you to make the decision to either fall into it or to prevent it from happening even
Exactly.
further. So, if you had to from Emily of today
Mhm.
in 2026, who's been on the other side and have done so many amazing things,
Mhm.
what would you tell that Emily that was in the thick of it, trying to figure things out, you know, doing
Mhm.
whatever she can, going to Starbucks, getting the resources, trying to put this paper together, even though her mind is like, yo, my grandmother, like just all of the
Yeah.
things that's going on. If you can talk to that Emily, what would you tell her?
It it's simple and everybody says it, but don't give up. Just don't give up. Just keep going, like, you can do this, like, no matter how many difficult things that you're facing in that moment, just if you keep pressing forward, you're gonna find your breakthrough.
Mm,
Like, if you just girl, just keep going. Just keep being determined, and I think having a focus of what you hope for your life really makes a big difference in everything working for you too. So
yeah,
you're staying somewhat positive. Like, Josh and I have this video. We were in the laundromat during that time, staying with my grandmother, doing our laundry, and I forgot what song it was that was on, but we were just being silly and just dancing.
yeah,
And just, like, having a time, so it's have those moments of silliness even though you wanna cry and you wanna scream and you're like, "I didn't sign up for this." Like, I thought I did
listen,
everything right, like, I thought that my life would be different, like, when you're going through all those, but still find your moments of joy because what
absolutely.
that's how you keep going.
So now speaking on the other side of it, where
Mhm.
some people can either do what you did, which your circumstances happened to you, but you did not let that define you.
Right.
Some people are too deep in the thick of it and don't really know how and somehow kind of take it on as their crutch unintentionally. And that's just kind
Mm,
of that bitterness or that cloudiness. Like that's all they can think of is just their circumstance.
yeah.
How how did it or how did you not let your circumstance define you?
I think that goes back to just having been through so much my entire
Mm,
life, where I've never allowed for my circumstances to define me. Um, I've always said, especially like we were just talking about that, like all of the childhood trauma and it being like, no, my life is going to be different. Like
yeah,
I'm going to make different choices. My life is going to be different, and still holding on to that belief system. So it's having a really strong belief in I'm going to do something with my life and my life is gonna make a difference. Um, it's not gonna like this isn't the end for me because
yeah,
it's still like I said, it's when you give up that you have to continue to work towards something. And maybe that something is something new. Like maybe that's why you need to get out if you can find something free to do.
yeah,
To be inspired. Those moments like last night we went to Southern Box and this band was playing.
yeah,
Just to go do something because there are free things to do. I know it's not a lot of them, but there are free things
yeah,
to do that sometimes you just need to get outside of yourself and take a break. Um, because those moments are really important to help you get back on track and to not just stay inside. When you stay inside yourself, literally away from everyone, your brain is going to lie to you and it's going to tell you that you can't do it. And it's going to tell you
mm,
that you suck and that you can't compare to anybody else. And, this, you deserve this. It's going to tell you all of these nasty things when that's not true. And the only way for you to stop that from happening is to find something that is going to bring you some peace and some joy. So go take a walk. listen to a podcast, listen to the Bloomies, like
You know,
go, like be inspired, find something to inspire you, and
yeah,
that
go to a
way
bot event.
go to a bot event,
All you have to do is go on
meet
Eventbrite and
community.
sign up, and you'll
Honestly,
meet amazing people. You'll learn new things. You'll network. You'll
Mhm.
have a free meal. Like,
Yes, like you're gonna learn something new, and before you know it, maybe you're inspired to learn something new. And I really feel like learning is why there's a big reason why education is being attacked right now. And
oh
and
yeah.
that is and that is why.
Hmm.
And this is there's a lot of reasons why we can go down that path, but learning is what's going to help you keep going. It's going to help you get certified. It's going to help you increase your salary. It's going to help your brain continue to function properly as you get into these older years. Picking
Absolutely.
up a book and reading, like, just anything to
It's just stimulating your mind and
stimulating
your
your
thoughts,
mind in a
keeping your mind
positive way.
open.
And then, in the right moment, you're gonna find before you know it, maybe you're supposed to be a book author. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know what it is, but unless you go outside, if you
Yeah.
just stay inside, and I understand that money is an issue, but there are free things to do, and there are ways to, ask a friend, "Hey, do you mind? Can we hang out?" Something as
Absolutely.
simple as that. Can we hang out because I'm feeling really low right now? Like,
Yeah.
it's really important to make sure that you're surrounded by people because we need each other and we need community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. That is so beautiful.
Mhm.
So now a slight little switch because I'm
Mhm.
tapping into all the things that Emily does. So
You
part of
are.
your I love this. This
You
is very
are.
Iyan Lava
Mhm.
insane. I knew
Mhm.
I had the perfect guest for this. Okay. So on one of the talks that I where I met you was from
Mhm.
the Black Health Commission,
Yeah.
and the theme was talking about like your personal branding. And I
Mhm.
took so much notes that I still have to this day,
I love that.
and I'm still trying to figure out my brand and carve that out for
Yeah.
for anybody who is a late bloomer who has gotten to this point where, you know what, I'm here to, I don't know if it's redefine or more so actually defining who I am for me, my
Mhm.
own self-discovery. I'm
Yeah.
removing the stigma and the labels and the conditioning and the programming from family,
Mhm.
from religion, whatever you were told that
Ooh.
just did not feel in alignment with who you truly are. And now
Yeah.
that you have come to this space where you're like, you know what? Who am I?
Right.
What is my personal brand? Whether you're going to be an influencer or not, everyone
Mhm.
has their own personal
Mhm.
brand. And
Absolutely.
so what are some key tools, or where can people start to kind of figure out what their personal brand is?
Sure. So I'll try to apply this in a lot because there's a lot of different ways to build a brand to your point. If you're building a podcast and there's different, there's influencers and stuff like that. But that
Mhm.
that that specifically was supposed to help people with career. But at the end of the day, it's identifying your goals. What is your goal? What is your outcome? What do you want to be known for? So you start there. Period. What do you want to be known for? Okay, I now have a new career goal. Say you're currently a chef, but you want to have a new career goal and you want to career transition into tech.
Mhm.
Okay, start talking about tech. So whether that's on podcast or whether that's on LinkedIn, just writing, "Oh, I learned this today." Um, Start saying, "Oh, I'm working towards getting this certification in AWS." Letting people know that you're transitioning into something new, that you see yourself as someone new. So whatever, and those are just like random examples, but whatever that new thing is, that's what you start and you don't stop. You don't
Mm.
you don't stop. If everybody knows Josh for AWS, his whole entire banner on LinkedIn, AWS community builder, because he's a community builder. Within internal at his company, he's also part of that alliance with everything he does with that, everything he continues to learn, and anything tech related in general, like all of this AI stuff. Like, but
Yeah.
like he really knows what he's talking about. When it comes to me, everything for me is like I probably don't even I preach way more than what I do, unfortunately. But I
Yeah.
really try to um share with people that I really do know this strategy, and the reason why, like, his personal brand is so tight is because I'm in the background saying, okay, do this, do this, do this.
There you
Um eh,
go.
you know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, what are we gonna wear today? Are we sticking out, or are we trying to be part of the brand? So there's
Okay.
something a little bit that I used to do whenever I would submit my resumes, just as a little like tweak, just to kind of stick out from everybody else, would be, or companies love whenever you eat up everything that you know about them, right? So
Mm.
whatever the company color was, I would go take a little eyedropper um to go and
Oh,
pick to know what their hex color was, and I would
okay.
take the hex color and I would put my name in it to be like, you see my name, you see me as that person working for your company, whatever that color, whatever color shade of blue, green, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be like, okay, now you can see me, like, now I'm sticking out a little bit from everybody else's, but it's not like over the top. It's just like real
No,
subtle.
it sticks out
It
from
sticks
the
out, right?
applicants, but it matches with their
Matches
company
with their
heading.
company heading, right? So I would do that. I would just put my
Smart.
name, and then I would put I would just like strategically here and there, like throw, like, say I'd put like old company names, or old, like, or focus on the job titles that I had, because
Mm.
that's what you need to do in order to stick out, basically, right? It's like, what is the story that you're telling people about who you are? So in that, it's okay, I'm in marketing, so being in marketing, I need to show all of those different job histories of marketing titles, right? So
Mhm.
highlighting that I had a marketing title and this and this and this, all the way up. So that way, even if it's not specific to their marketing title, it's a marketing title. So you can see like all of that experience grown throughout. Um yeah, we could go on and on about
I
this,
love that. Okay,
but
so
yeah,
now,
so
so say there is somebody who listened to this episode and
mhm,
they decided, I'm going to check out one of the Building Our Tech networking events.
mhm,
I have always worked as an administrative professional in a supportive role,
mhm.
but I want to get out of that. I'm looking for either a management position or just completely shifting to into tech,
Okay.
so to speak. Um, how would I start with introducing myself? What is part of the branding? Like, do you have to have like your one liner when you're introducing yourself to people? Like, how do you start building that confidence into, transitioning to that new field that you're interested in?
So it's first exploring what area of tech do you want to be in, because it's so broad.
Yeah.
And then it's starting to build connections with people that are also in that area. So that way
Mhm.
they can tell you what next steps you should take in learning this new thing.
Okay.
Maybe you need to go to Coursera or somewhere online and just pay for a couple courses. Like, it doesn't mean that you have to have another degree.
Or a
It
license or
Or a
something.
license. I mean, usually it does mean certifications, but certifications are way less money than a degree. You're looking at
Mhm.
maybe $400 compared to $4,000, or way more than that,
Yeah.
right? Like, talking about entire degrees with probably $400,000 with degrees at this point. But um, right now we always follow trends, so I don't know if you've noticed, but every single year whenever we focus on something, it's usually something new.
Mhm.
When it comes to our pillars, and we try to help people stay with whatever the workforce is looking for. So, if you want to be in tech, but you don't want to be a techie necessarily, what we're telling people is to get the PMP. Um,
Oh.
we had someone in the community reach out recently, who said that they needed a little bit of assistance with getting their PMP, and they got certified. And then within, I don't know, I didn't quite hear anything for a couple of weeks, and all of a sudden they wrote back and they said, "Sorry, you guys didn't hear back from me, but I actually have two job offers in this economy." And
Well, listen, Emily, because I've been trying
I
to get
said,
my
"Oh."
CMP.
I was like, "Okay, so PMP is the way to go. All right, that's the one. This is what we look for." And
Yeah.
ever since, that's all I hear. Everybody talking about the PMP. Everybody's talking about the PMP.
It's definitely within since COVID, really,
Yeah.
because I follow a lot of similar people in the same industry of, like, whether it's communications, marketing, or
Mhm.
even, like, administrative, specialists, because there's so many transferable skills to being a
Mhm.
project manager,
Right.
um but for that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to start off with the CMP and then work
Yeah.
my way up to the PMP, but you have to reach a certain criteria and, like, how much actual years of experience project managing and, like,
Mm.
verifying all of that before you can even sign up to take the test. So that's why I was just like, oh God. But listen, I'll figure it out.
Figure it
I'm,
out, figure it
I'll
out.
figure it
So,
out.
another thing that you can do without having to have, like, all of the years of experience and stuff is to go and start getting, Agile and Scrum certifications because 'cause they're basically but those are tech specific. It's tech specific project management.
What
Mhm.
is that?
I'll send you the information.
Listen, I'm gonna post this for the Bloomies because we all
Yes.
trying to get free.
Uh-huh.
Because we're over here speaking about AI. Like, we've tailored our resumes so many times, done all kinds of
Mhm.
cover letters only for AI to process it and
Yeah,
reject you
I know.
immediately.
Immediately. Yeah, so that's another thing. We just had our resume AI workshop at Bot, a couple of weeks ago. And so, and we had like recruiters looking over it and stuff like that. And we know that the job market is terrible. So there is some level of, it's not just the AI, it's these fake
Oh no,
jobs and
and so many black women unfortunately have been laid off in
absolutely,
tech. So, like,
absolutely.
what do they do now?
So a lot of people are starting their own businesses.
Yeah,
And we also
consulting.
provide support for that in entrepreneurship and startup companies. Uh,
Yeah,
however, right now it's really about who you know. It's
yeah.
really it's who you know so much that our daughter was working as front desk at AC Hotel and she's getting out there like she's like I need to get out of here. Like I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And so it ended up being like a coworker of hers that their parent worked for Full Sail and so she got into Full Sail
Oh
because
wow.
yeah, because of her coworker's parent. So and she's been so happy. She's been working there almost 4 months now, and she's been so happy now working for Full Sail. So, yeah.
I've heard great things
Mhm.
there. I know people who work there. I wonder
Yeah.
if after this I'll ask you if she
Okay.
knows a couple of these names, but that was amazing.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for offering those resources. I will definitely
Absolutely.
include the links
Mhm.
in the description of this episode. For all of the previous networking events, I know a lot of the speakers will have, like, PowerPoint presentations. Can people access the talks that have already happened? Are they recorded anywhere, or is it kind of just if you're there, that's how you
It's
get the
really so if you go to YouTube, there's a couple of things on there that are older.
okay.
It doesn't mean that they're any less applicable.
Mhm.
They're a little bit older. Like some things might have changed a little bit, but the foundational ideas and concepts are there. So Build with Bot on YouTube, and you can go there and you can also see people's testimonials about the community and what they've experienced in being a part of the community and how their lives have changed. But basically, we try to really focus on in-person community because y- it's just there's just a different level of connection. There's
Yeah.
just it's something that we are sharpening each other. Like we have a data in motion workshop that's or I don't even know what to call it because it's like in 3 hours people come together are given a data set, they find business solutions and they give a presentation on a business that they would create based off of those solutions.
Oh
And it's
wow.
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing and they do it every time. They
It's
do
almost
it
like a
it's
think tank or
right, exactly.
something.
And it's
Yeah.
and it's people from all different industries and verticals, not even tech. You could just be a beginner all the way to expert and people are learning from each other and getting ideas and this is how we see the workforce is actually supposed to be anyways, right? Because you
Yeah.
have your younger peers who are brand new to this, they have no idea and you're bringing them up. You have your experts and you have your people and or you have your middle management which are the actual experts and then you have your leaders
Yeah.
that are at the top that won't give up their jobs.
It, that part.
I need to
That
retire.
part.
They need to retire. Um,
Live their
but
lives,
go
please.
live
Make
your
room for
life. Go
us.
travel. Let us get the actual salaries. Thank you.
that part. But yeah, I'll put
but yeah.
all of the links and the YouTube
Mhm.
channel and all of that in the description of the episode.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
especially and your social media. So if people want to connect with you, if they have questions about branding and
Yeah.
marketing, like Emily is your girl.
Absolutely. I'll
All
send you the
right.
link for the personal branding deck so that way they can get all of the context
Yes.
from that too.
Yay. Look at all the resources. I love this. I love this.
Yes, yes.
All right. So now we're going to go to the currently on repeat segment. So, what have you had currently on repeat? Any hyperfixations on things?
Yes. Bruno Mars, Risk It All.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with that song. Like, I don't, it just does something to my soul. Just like,
Okay.
I just love it so
What is
much.
the vibe? Like what are the feelings? Are you transporting into
It's,
your own music video? Is it very dramatized? Is it
it's literally, it's just like so in love to me. It's just like, he's just obsessed. Like, it just being obsessed with you. Like, I'm willing to risk
yeah.
it all. Like, I'll give you the moon, I'll give you the stars. Like, it's
Bring
just
back real
real
R&B.
R&B, real
Uh
love. Like, and it was so funny because I don't know you remember they were just going through that of how like people are using songs at weddings that were actually completely inappropriate.
Oh, yes, they
Yeah,
were
so like
terrible.
yeah, exactly. So like to me, this is like a real wedding song. Like the husband is like pouring
Yeah.
out his soul. Like it's so I love it.
Oh, that's a good one.
I
That's a
love
good
it.
yummy
It's
one.
R&B, absolutely.
Okay,
Uh,
so for me, I so for the longest time I stayed away from certain types of seafood because it just I had no interest in it.
mm,
But then when I went to New York for my birthday, and my sister she brought me to this really dope Egyptian restaurant in
oh,
Queens, and like you pick your seafood and they
mm.
prepare it, season it how it's amazing. I wish they had a location here because I'm chasing that fever high for it. But I tried mussels and octopus. Cause it's something about the tentacles. I was just like the suction cups. I was like, I
Yes,
just,
I have a story about that because I can't do it either. I
ugh.
can't do it.
But
I can't do it either.
it was grilled, and when my sister, shout out to you, she had cut off the little suction cup part. So if you've ever eaten just like conch or other kinds of like
Okay.
seafood,
Yeah.
it wasn't bad. It was really, really good
Okay.
grilled, just not with the
But
little
just not with the
suction
tech.
cup part.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my husband loves octopus. So maybe next time I'll get him to, because it's always
Yeah, it's
like,
different. Yeah,
so
because
I'll
that's
get
why I
him
stay
to
away
take
from
that off.
ceviche because I was just
Mm,
like, ceviche looks
mhm.
so good. I love seafood and it looks so refreshing and stuff. I was just like, you lose me with that. And I was always a Little
But there's
Mermaid
all
stan
different
as a
kinds
child.
of ceviche though. Like,
Yeah, but usually the medley has like
oh,
squid
the
or
medley.
octopus
Mm,
and, shrimp and crab. Now you can get some who's just the crab or just this or just that. But yeah, I tried that and scallops. I had scallops a long, long time ago. That was my
mm.
first time having it and it was disgusting.
I
So ever
can't do
since then I
scallops
was
either.
like, that was gross. But for whatever reason, I guess the way they flavored it, shout out, I think
Yeah.
it's Hermitos, I
It
think is
could
the name of the
be,
restaurant.
yeah.
It was really, really good.
I feel
And
that.
so I have been chasing that fever high since then and wanting to try all kinds of styles of mussels and like the trend on TikTok
Mhm.
or all the tin fish, the girl dinner
Yeah.
plates where people are making their own little personal charcuterie and it's either sardines and mussels
All
and
right.
all of these things. So I've just been really in a seafood kick. I something it's
I think
lighter, it's summer, it's hot. I just don't want
mhm.
anything heavy.
Right, exactly. I
So
think
that's just been my thing
I
that
think
I've
that's
been
another
hyper
thing that
on it.
happens to us as we get older and maybe this perimenopause thing. It's like
Oh.
I think our flavors change because that
Oh,
happened
yeah,
to
our
me.
palates change it it's every 5 years your body changes.
Yeah, I think that started to happen to where I started eating a lot more seafood that I didn't typically eat either. I still haven't
Mm.
quite gotten to the area that you're talking about.
I feel
But
you, it still baffles me that I
but
even
I
like this because
try
I was
now. Yeah, I do try now
yeah,
though. Like that is the difference. It's like something chemically wired in your brain. You're like, huh,
yeah,
I'm gonna try that. I know I don't usually like that, but I'm gonna try it anyways. Yeah, I would definitely feel that. So for
yeah.
food, I'm so excited because next week I'm going with to piggyback off Josh's trip and go to Chicago. And
Ooh, I heard it's a big food city. I would have
it
never thought
is.
of that.
And so we went in 2021 and I had wild berry pancakes.
Oh.
And when I tell you, these are the best pancakes. I've been dreaming about these pancakes. When he told me he was going to
Oh.
Chicago, I was like, you're buying me a ticket to go there, right? Because
Heck yeah.
I'm going to Wildberry. Like, that is my number one goal for going to Chicago next week is to go eat at Wildberry. I'll show you
Ooh.
the picture of the pancakes. They're amazing.
Are they just big and fluffy
They're,
pancakes or just
no, so they're stacked high. They're like a better quality McDonald's pancake.
okay?
Like, very, like, thin but fluffy. I don't really know. And
Oh.
then they have a special that where they actually like call them literally wild berry pancakes. So they have like a drizzle and it's like covered in berries, and
Mm.
it's just so
I can see you
good.
tasting it right
I
now.
am. I swear.
You're already there.
I'm already there. A
Do
couple
they
more
sell
days.
do they sell because I know like Cafe Du Monde in New Orleans, like they sell
Mm.
the mix for the beignets. Do they sell like the pancake mix? I mean, I'm sure it's
No, that they're their own
oh.
like private restaurant. I think there's only like one or two of them in
Oh.
Chicago. That's it.
Okay. So
Yeah,
it's in-house. You gotta go
it's
there to
in
have it.
house for sure. It is definitely in
Dang.
house.
Cause I'm
I
like,
don't
at
even
least if you
think
could
I
have
can.
bought
I
a
don't even think I
box of
could
the
replicate
batter.
it. I'd be scared.
Oh.
I don't even think I could replicate it. Like they're just so good. Yeah,
Well,
that's
that's a
definitely
reason for you to go back there.
absolutely. I was just like, all right, that's fine. I'm not complaining.
Well, I look forward to
Uh,
seeing it on your
and
stories
I
because
really want to see Obama's presidential library, but
my God, they sold out.
I know. I was like, and
They're
the
sold
worst
out till
part
like
about
next
it,
year.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna be right there. But I guess there are some. You can't go into the museum, but I guess there are some open public
Because it's
areas.
still a library.
So
So you can go
yeah.
into that part, but to see the exhibits and all of
So
that,
I'm
that's where you
still
need the
gonna.
tickets.
Yeah,
You have to go. You
I
at least have
am.
to,
I
yes, go
am for
into the
sure.
building, use
Yeah.
the bathroom, drink
Yeah,
water
whatever.
from there, something. Get
Swear.
a flyer, a map
Yes.
or something,
They gotta
whatever
have a
free
store they will
handouts.
still let me into
Yes.
because I swear,
Yes.
people are already talking about how they're crying being there in that space, and I was just like, I already know I'm gonna cry.
And I haven't been to the Smithsonian, like the African American History Museum in
You
DC.
have to
I
go.
know,
You have
especially
to go.
before, with
Yeah,
this person, things
yeah.
start changing, but I definitely
It's
I'm gonna have to check it.
amazing.
I
You
heard it's
have
a
to
lot.
go.
Like you need like a couple of days to take it all in because isn't it like 4 or 5 floors or something?
It
And each
is.
each floor
Mhm.
could take like a day.
I don't know about a day. I think that, but
That's what or at
yeah,
least
I
I
mean, it
guess
depends on
navigating
like
crowds and
how.
stuff maybe like
Yeah,
yeah,
I
if
think
you're
it
reading
depends
every
on how
placard or
long.
something,
If you read
maybe like
every
2 days, maybe like
placard,
2 days if you
yeah.
split it up.
If you split it up, yeah. We only did
Yeah,
one day, but
that's
we
intense
ran
for
through
a
it. But
day.
yeah, well, I mean, it was just circumstantial. We were just like, we need to go
Oh,
see it.
okay.
Like, we were just
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah. Of course, you're
we're gonna
there.
go see as much as I possibly can. I'm gonna squeeze it in.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. It's really good though.
Alrighty, so now we're gonna go into the plot twist. So,
Okay.
what unexpected turn changed your life story? So, what was the record scratch moment where you're like, you know what?
Whew.
Everything that I was made to believe, everything that I was told about what I should be doing and who I am, this is some bullshit.
Yeah.
This is the moment right here where I'm like, you know what? This is Emily now.
Yeah. Um. The toxic job the toxic boss will do it to you every time. Um, so basically, I went through what people are talking about right now, where they're going through all of these interviews. I went through an 8 interview process,
I'm sorry, what?
8 interviews, and one of them was a working interview.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
That's a scam.
Uh-huh. They did pay me. They did pay me. At least for that time. Um, I got hired, and it was the worst job of my life. It
After
was.
eight
It was
eight circles of hell and you get hired and
It
it's the
was
worst job
the
of your
worst job
life.
of my life. Mhm. I was really excited. I thought it was everything that I wanted. I was
Mm.
like, "Oh, I'm finally working I'm working for a tech company. I have a great title. I have the most money I've ever made in my life." I've arrived.
Yeah.
I've arrived. And then the arrival was like, "No, you haven't. No, you haven't. You have not arrived." The boss did not know what he was doing, was relying everything on me, and I was brand new.
Oh
Um,
no.
I was told already for that company that it takes most people 6 months to ramp. I hadn't even reached my 6 months, and he put me on a pip. Um, I had a
When
rec
he should have been on one because he ain't know his job.
right. So I
Child.
expressed how the deck should be, so that way people could glean from them, take information, keep it moving. He's insisted that it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it was like 100 slides.
Who
Um,
gonna read through all of
then
that?
the name of the deck, yeah. And I was doing all of this by myself. I didn't have anybody to delegate to. And he could not let me solidify a name for the deck. I had a list of 42 names that I had come up with, and nothing was good enough for him. By the end of it, I was working 14 hours, 6 days a week,
Oh my
crying, like,
God.
crying regularly out of frustration because there was no real direction from a director.
Yeah.
There was nothing ever expressed as to what was actually supposed to happen. Like, that amount of ambiguity will literally drive you insane.
Heck yeah.
When there's zero direction, oh, you're almost there. What the hell does you're almost there mean?
Especially if they keep moving the goalpost.
The
What do you
goalpost
mean
keeps moving,
100 slides,
and then I
42
get
names?
and then I get put on a pip, and I was just like, so one night I'm up, I'm making corrections to the deck, and then so like one of the things on my pip that he wrote, mind you, I have 2 master's degrees. He told me that I had issues with spelling and grammar. He,
Tried it.
okay, sure. One area specifically in this deck, I think it was like, if you're tired, you're just like, oh, there's a comma and a period right next to each other on a keyboard. I think it was supposed to be a comma, but I'd put a period or vice versa, right? So I corrected it, and he slacks me. And mind you, this is at like 10:30 at night. And he's like, don't remove my comments. And I was like, what? I was like, oh, you really are trying to set me up to fire me.
Why hire me then?
Right. After all of that. And I was like, and Josh and Ileana had already been begging me to quit this job.
Yeah.
Like they had already been begging me to quit this job. And I was just like, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to so determined to make this work because I thought that this was my life-changing moment. This was my time. I finally hit the 6-figure mark. I finally arrived. And then to be met with that, it was just like, what, what just happened here?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so I quit and decided to take some time, and that was the worst possible time ever to do that because that's when, yeah, that was like 2023 when things started falling apart.
Mm,
And yet at the same time, um, we were at a situation where bot needed me
yeah.
and I needed it just as much. I didn't know at the time. I didn't know where I was gonna go. I didn't know what I was gonna do. Just completely and utterly beat down by the entire
Mm,
situation. And I was just like, I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know if this is what I want to do. I felt the most imposter syndrome ever. Remember we talked about imposter syndrome during Press of
yeah.
Renee.
And your husband does not believe that
He
that
does
is a
not.
thing.
He does not.
I want to talk to him about that. I want to pick his brain
Yeah, you
about it.
should. You should definitely have him on here to talk to him about that. But yeah, I was feeling like the most imposter syndrome. Like, what just happened here? I went through 8
Yeah.
interviews. How is this possible? How
And
how
he
did I arrive
gaslit
here?
you.
He
You were
gaslit me
gaslit.
so bad. He gaslit me so bad. I was physically sick doing all of this by the end too. I couldn't get
Oh,
better. I was
wow.
sick on and off for 2.5 months until I quit. It
Yeah,
wasn't
because
until
the stress, it lowered your immune system. So your
literally I
body was
wasn't.
under attack.
Uh-huh. I literally did not get better until I quit. And
Damn.
I'm like, I'm not
That
a sickly
sucks.
person. What's
Yeah.
happening?
Is he
Mhm.
still working there? Have you checked LinkedIn?
Probably. I blocked him.
Oh, I know that's right. Protect your mental
I blocked
health.
him.
Because
I was like,
my God.
I don't. Yeah, I was like, this is wild. I don't care what happens to you. I don't want to be associated with you. Like, no,
Yeah.
I don't.
So how did you bounce back, like recover from that and cure the imposter syndrome, like the trauma
Um,
that came from that?
so it was just slowly. I did the, Slowly. It was just like seeing what's happening with bot, and we were kind of addressing some situations.
Mm.
and in realizing that we needed to fix some things. And then just kind of I would take some time for myself and go to the beach and reflect. And I was definitely big in therapy and between that and then with all of the losses that we had in 2025, big proponent of growth therapy. I will pitch them all day, every day. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, they helped me out a lot. And then the community, just the community coming back to life again, seeing Bach come back to life, and just seeing that my overarching strategy and idea and concept for how it should be run versus the way someone was previously running it, um, it it kind of got sidetracked. And so we kind of brought it back and just seeing everybody's success now, like over time, hearing people's testimonials,
Yeah.
has done a lot for me. And um it's reminded me why I've always been this person that has always desired to be in community and giving back. Like that is you're talking about, like bringing yourself back
Yeah.
to blooming again. And that is what really helped me become myself again. It's just like when they started like asking me to do talks, I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, you want me to do what? I never thought that I would find myself teaching people personal branding and doing all of these things.
And you're
Um,
so great at it.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so bot is a big part of where it helped me refocus in what what I want, what I who I hope to be in helping
Yeah.
people achieve their goals, and hopefully also make a lot of money because we don't gatekeep over here.
I love that.
And,
All right, so this is the perfect segue into the blooming anyway. What is
mhm.
your affirmation for the bloomies who are either stuck in a rut, or they're either, in the midst of a challenging time, or, making their way through it and are, trying to not let it consume who they are? Yeah, any words of encouragement on how they can bloom anyway despite what they're facing right now?
um, one of first I want to say power posing is crazy. I don't know if you've ever done power posing, but like
No.
if you're feeling bad, like a full on like superwoman stance, like
Oh, okay.
I've done it before in an interview, and like it really works. I don't know what it is about power posing, is very strange. So if you look it up and like if you're feeling really down and stuff like that,
You
I definitely
just
encourage you to like, yeah, like, bam, like I am her. Like I am her. Like
Yeah.
do not forget everything that you've been through. Don't forget that all of the things that you've already accomplished. Remind yourself um of who you are, because
Mhm.
you've gotten through everything before and you'll do it again. And you will continue to rise. um you know do whatever you can, remind yourself of um surround yourself with those people that are going to uplift you in those times where you need to have a safe space and say, you know what, maybe I just need to cry, maybe I need to vent, maybe, don't say anything back, I don't want any advice, like just set those expectations, just
Yeah.
like let me let it out.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready, then you ask that friend for, hey, what do you think, if you feel that they're a trusted source. But
Yeah.
definitely always remember who you are, because this isn't your first trial or tribulation, and it won't be your last. And
Mm.
you will overcome just like you did before.
That is so beautiful. Thank you so much,
Thank
Emily, for
you.
being on.
It's been a
All of my
pleasure.
guests, thank you, thank you. All of my guests who've been on, you are officially a bloomie. So welcome to the
Hey,
bloomies.
I love it. I'm a bloomie.
There you go. There you go. So where can your fellow bloomies follow you and support you? What do you got going on? What is when I will post this in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
So anything you got coming up in September or end of August?
Okay. So they can follow me personally at M's Elite Palette on IG. If you're trying to find me on LinkedIn, the backslash Emily Analyzes, because there's a lot of Emily Walkers. You will not find me without that. Um, and then as far as bot is concerned, you're gonna find bot on Build with Bot on IG. Um, and also Building Our Tech on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Eventbrite, buildingourtech.org. And any of those places will give you what's coming up next. Um, I think the 19th is too soon probably, but the 26th, if this happens to come out before then,
Yeah.
is the interview lab. So helping you all get hired through really fun improv acting.
Ooh.
We have a bunch of improv actors that are gonna come and help you practice your interview skills. So you bring your resume. Yeah, it's really
That
fun.
sounds like
People
fun.
got hired last year after that. They had some interviews lined up and they said what they learned at the interview lab really helped them. So it's really exciting that we're repeating it and trying to help people get hired on August 26th at 6 o'clock at Credo Conduit downtown Orlando. And then I cannot tell the follow us for the September ones.
Oh, okay.
I just don't have all of the information is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're working
But
on it.
but you guys always put on amazing events and
Thank you.
networking
Thank you.
opportunities. So
Yeah.
definitely make sure you guys are following. And I'm sure you have an email list because I get your emails
Yes.
and LinkedIn notifications about
Yes.
any events coming up. And again, they are free.
Yes, they're free.
Use these resources. Tell
And
a friend to tell a
also
friend.
we are a nonprofit organization, so if you donate, that goes and helps
Yes,
your taxes, and if you happen to work for a company that sponsors, hit me up.
that part.
Like, we need to continue to give these resources for free. In order to do that, we need sponsorships, so yeah.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. And if you happen to be someone who wants to provide resources
Absolutely.
and network and
Yeah.
offer, to speak or, if your job is
Absolutely.
hiring, if you're HR professional, hey,
Let us know, definitely. Absolutely.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, thank you so much again, Emily,
Thank
for being
you.
on. This was amazing.
It was. I had a great time.
All right, Bloomies, until next time. Bye.
Bye, Bloopies.